All right, I'm back. That was a very nice stroll to get me some lunch and some dinner. And some back here for the second half of our coverage. Let me find out who's gone since I left. Right, New Jersey just made another signing. Make sure I got this right. Apologize. Okay, so we're back. And here, Don Philly in the building. Good to see Don. Pull up for the big NBA show I'm gonna have Saturday in here. Don, good to see Don Philly in the building. He's getting ready for the Eagles. I got the Eagles going to the bowl this year. I like Philly a lot. '76ers got Paul George. Wonder how Don Philly feels about that. We signed Maxi to a 5. I tell you, Maxi's special. I remember him 2 years ago in the playoffs. I fell in love with him. The second I saw him destroy Toronto, I fell in love with Maxi. And away we go, fellas. All right, let me catch up with everybody since I was gone for the last hour and a half. Thank God got me something to eat. PG is good. So Don Philly likes that signing. Good for you, Don. Good for you, fam. Mean that. Philadelphia, they haven't won a championship in 7 years, folks. I didn't like how the 76er fans let these New York baboons go down there and bogard the Wells Fargo Center. That bothered me. All the bragging I do about Philadelphia sports fan, the city, how great it is. I expect a Super Bowl in South Philadelphia come February. Anything less, I am going to be very disappointed. What, here in New York? Yeah, I was embarrassed for you guys, man. I mean, what has happened to Philadelphia? They're gone soft with the transplants and the gentrification or something. Philadelphia was never this lame, folks. Philadelphia was tough city, tough town. You know. All right, Corey Perry's going back to Edmonton 1 year for 1.4 million. But this is old. I'm gonna have to go to the hockey news to get more updates. And this is basically the same shit that went on when I left at 2 o'clock. Oh man, damn Macy. I hope so. And the damn Flyers collapsed down the stretch. Man, I was pulling for the Flyers to make the playoffs. Man, I don't know how Villanova is now that coach Wright left. Oh, I forgot. The New York Knicks is the Villanova 4. Oh, man. Josh Hart coming off the bench along with Dylan Nova. And they're going to go with a backcourt of Brunson and Bridges. So New York Knicks will be interesting. This town is pumped for the Knicks, folks. It's a Knick town. I told you people that. But the one thing you better remember, as sports fans, New York do not touch Philly. Doesn't touch Philly. I mean, you know damn well they don't touch Boston. But for my money, Philadelphia, Chicago, Boston, Detroit, Cleveland, Phoenix, Denver, those are the 7 best sports cities in America. Villanova is my favorite team. College and Temple. Yeah, you keep it home base. I don't. Oh man. All right, Dumba resigns with the Stars. So yeah, I'm gonna do a big. Just to let you know, I'm gonna do a big NBA free agent show on Saturday. So you want to pull up, chill, and let me give you guys your NBA. Cause I know the one thing the brothers love, folks. The brothers love basketball, and I would never, even though the NBA turns me off, I'll never. In here, I will never let the brothers down by the NBA coverage. No one does it better than me. You know why? Because I don't talk goddamn Bronny James all day. Okay? So it looks like the way it was when I walked out my door is the way it is now in the NHL. So no changes. I'll run this to 6. Then I'll come back someday this week, talk about everything. And then on Saturday, we'll do an entire show in the NBA. Okay, something did happen while I was gone. Jack Campbell signed with the Red Wings. So the Red Wings got 2 goalies all of a sudden. 1 year, 775K. Duclair went to the Islanders. That's a great move by the great Lou Lamoriello. Boy, have the mightiest fallen for Vegas. So the Red Wings picked up Talbot. They picked up Talbot today, and they picked up Jack Campbell today. Talbot's uh, he's very workmanlike. Jack Campbell, Edmonton just said, "Get the hell out of here." Jason Joker, $5 million, went to the Buffalo Sabres. William Carrier went to Carolina, but goddamn, it's Vegas getting rated. Why would you want to leave Vegas? He signs a 6-year, $12 million deal with the Hurricane. Hurricane's been busy today. Kevin Stenlin goes to Utah, but the Panthers are losing players left and right. Brandon Duhaime, boy, another signing by the Capitals. 2-year, 1.85. So you're talking 3.7 for 2 years. So the rest of these deals I told you about hours ago when I was up here. I told Keynes that Florida was going to lose a lot of players, and they did today. And they only re-signed Reinhardt. Wow, and the Capitals had a banged up off season. Wow. Be interesting to watch the Capitals this year. All these free agents they've brought in. So the Panthers have lost some guys. Okay. I told Vamos that Florida guys were going to walk up and leave, and that's exactly what they did. Now, Tony, I'm going to answer this for you. Vamos asked me about 45 minutes ago when I was having my lunch, how come you have more enthusiasm? Yeah, Tony just said in the chat. The reason why he's more excited about the Panthers than he is the Dolphins, the answer is obvious, uh, Canes. He's seen the Panthers been there and done that, and they got the Stanley Cup in South Florida. You haven't seen a Super Bowl trophy in 51 years in South Florida. That's why he's excited. He's seen 2 Marlin World Series, 3 Heat NBA championships, a Hurricane championship, and now a Florida Panther championship. And I guarantee within the next 2 years, Florida is going to win another one. That's why he's more excited about the Panthers than the Dolphins. Tony, pull up, bro. I'm going to drop the link. That's why he's excited. AJ Greer going to the Panthers. Yeah, these are the type of signings you do. 2 years, 1.7. Good lookout, Vamos. Those are the type of free agent signings you do if you're Florida. You got that Stanley Cup in your trophy case. That is the most prestigious trophy in the world. In the world. And now the Florida Panthers have it in Sunrise, Florida. Come on up, Tony. All right. Gerard Slavofsky has signed an 8-year extension with the Montreal Canadiens worth 60.8 mil. Bill Lindsay in the studio, Florida Panthers color commentator on the radio. That's why he's more excited about the Panthers than the Dolphins. Am I right, Tony?
Yeah, yes. And in the chat, I said something good. Honestly, I like that Kevin Stenlin signing for the Utah Hockey Club, because that's a good veteran presence with Stanley Cup experience that can teach these young kids to how to be professionals and
I
stuff like.
totally agree with you. I totally agree, Tony. So Bill Lindsay still ecstatic over the Panther Cup win. He cried on the air on the radio broadcast a week ago.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this, Uncle. I think we're gonna sign like to compensate for the guys we lost. I think we're gonna be signing like college free agents and stuff like that. Guys with NCAA championship experience that are in the that you can get for cheaper than you can actually get like a big time free agent. Like
I totally agree with you.
I think
I agree.
that's and I think that's what hurt. That's what hurt Tampa in the long run. They didn't supplement the people they lost in free agency. That's why they fell off so fast.
I agree. Vamos says he didn't know the Stanley Cup can float. That Stanley Cup can go on the moon.
what was the craziest like story that you've heard from a player, Uncle, in terms of where they taken the Stanley Cup?
I heard the Rangers was so reckless with the cup when they won 30 years ago. It had dents in it. Uh, they
Was that
let
the jury team? Chris, like
no, no,
what's
no, that was Messier, and they let dogs piss and shit in it. Crazy stuff.
honestly, I can't remember. I can't remember uh which player on the on the Capitals took it like to uh a club in Moscow. I wasn't sure if it was Kuznetsov or if it was Ovi that did it.
It was probably Ovi.
Ovi's a party boy,
He's he's that crazy. Well, I told you yesterday they were spotted on the beach in Moscow. Him, Kuznetsov, and Malkin.
and Ilya Kovalchuk
Nah,
too.
the Kovacic, his wife will never let him do that. His wife will never let him do that. Go ahead, Tony. You keep talking.
Yeah, yeah. To be honest, Keynes, like May said, like I have more faith in the front office in Florida with the Panthers than I do with the Dolphins that they're they're going to continue this. So there's only two franchises with reliable front offices that I can trust that are not going to do dumb move. I'm trying to have faith with the Florida front office with Peter Bendix, to be honest, but I want to see what he does with trying to get what he can get for Jazz Chisholm, and if he's able to rebuild the farm system by trading guys like Chisholm and Lazardo. Honestly, that's a good way to do, like, because there's championship teams that are needing starting pitching like the
The
Dodgers and
Dodgers, for sure. Yankees, too. The Yankees are falling apart, folks. What
wait
happened last week in at City Field. The Mets spanked them. Polar bear flexing at the Yankees dugout. You
Oh,
wait till next week, folks, when they come to the Bronx. You wait till next week.
yeah, no, I can't remember. I think Barkov said he took it ice fishing with him in Finland.
Well, they haven't given them the cup yet. They,
Barkov?
they, yeah, Barkov they won a cup last week, but they haven't given the players the take it yet. They do that in 2 weeks. They start giving the players 1 day with it. Tony,
Yeah,
keep talking. I'll be back in a second.
I can't remember if other sports, like if hockey does it like other sports where they make a replica cup for the players like they do for like Super Bowl rings or NBA championship rings and stuff like that, and the the actual trophy for the players. Do they make replica Stanley Cups for the players to keep in their trophy cases at home? She's actually Canes. I read an article. I'm not sure if Uncle saw it too. That she's the head of the athletic. She's gonna be the one of the commissioner. Uh, one of the head of player development for the Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball League. And honestly, I don't think they messed up by letting Ing out the door. It's just I think there was like philosoph- philosophical differences with because Jeter was bringing a lot of Yankees people, Yankees people that on that's what I kind of like. You're trying to. I understand you're taking people from a winning culture, but that philosophy doesn't work for. It's like trying. This is gonna be. I'm gonna use a perfect example. It's trying to bring Patriots people to other franchises. It doesn't always work. No, I see what you're saying, Canes, but to be honest, bringing people from a winning culture doesn't always translate to other franchises. I'm not sure if Uncle's gonna agree with me when he comes back. Because look at what's happening with the Suns. The guy who's their GM is a is a is a is a Heat front office member. That franchise that team is going like it looks like they're gonna break up now because Heat culture doesn't work. Heat and Spurs culture doesn't work everywhere because not every player can handle the constant 12 hours of practice every day. So I'm gonna try to be patient and see what the this for because the big market mentality doesn't really work with a small market team. Like spending big money for free agents doesn't really work for a small market teams like the Rays and Marlins because they can't signing big money contracts is not going to work because they don't have the finances in the long run to Oh, I see what you're saying. I agree with you. The way they parted ways with Ing is going to backfire on them, but I can understand why they walked away from Jeter and people like that, because they're they're trying to build. They want to build a big money farm system in a small market team that can't really afford to keep all the players.
Which team is that?
No, I was talking to me and
Vamos.
me and Canes were saying uh I was saying that bringing a winning culture from a culture like the Heat and the Yankees, or to a Spurs culture to another team is not always going to work, because of the fact that you don't know if the players are going to, what is it called? The players are going to adapt to that, because look at what's happening to the Suns. The GM there is from the Heat, and he was trying to build that Pat Riley mentality in
Phoenix
Phoenix.
ain't gonna work.
Yeah, because I think you told me it the best. Not every player can stand going to 12-hour practices every day.
Exactly. That's human. You can't do it.
Yeah,
People go to Heat for lifestyle. They don't go
yes,
to Heat.
Spurs and Heat are a lifestyle. You have to have no life outside of the sport.
Yeah, outside basketball. It's only
Yeah,
about basketball in those places.
yeah, no, and I think that's what's gonna. I think what's gonna. I think what's gonna. I think basketball and football are baseball are two sports that different cultures from other winning franchises are not going to work in small market areas like a Phoenix, a Miami, or a Tampa, because though in general those franchises can't afford to keep big money contracts throughout their. Do you agree? Like small market teams like that can't.
Just look at the Oilers, bro. The Oilers are at the brink right now.
Wait, are the
And
Oilers considered a big market or a small market?
second smallest in the league.
Oh, I've always assumed, because that's a huge hockey market. It's a considered a major sports market.
In Canada, not in North America. Yo, Daniel, why don't you pull up? Danny, pull up, man. I'm gonna drop the link for you.
Yeah, no,
Talk this
yeah,
guy
and
with me and Manzano's up here.
yes. So do you agree with me, Uncle, that not those big market mentality where you're trying to spend money doesn't always translate to a small market like a Miami or a Tampa, because they can't afford, in the long run, those franchises can't really afford to keep big market players.
Well, Utah, with one of the richest owners in the world, you can call him a big market now.
Yeah, no, and I'm this is why I'm gonna say I think they're gonna have good. They're gonna bring in veterans with Stanley Cup experience from like Vegas, or could you see them trying to get a what's his name? The guy who trying to stand. If Stamkos didn't go to St. Louis, do you think he would have gone to
I mean,
Utah?
Nashville.
Yeah, if you
Stamkos.
didn't go. Yeah, if you didn't go to Nashville,
Nashville.
do you think
Yeah, if
Utah
the
would?
money was right. Yeah, the money is right. Yeah, because no state tax.
Is you is hockey? It seems like hockey specifically is the only sport I can see that. You said it best. These players don't get paid enough, like to stay in the team that, what is it called?
The
Um,
team that they was, especially if they win a Stanley Cup, no, they leave. I was telling that to Vamos on Saturday. These guys leave because they're going to get a big payday somewhere else,
from
especially if they want.
wait, where did Montour go?
Seattle.
And that's a good place for him
Excellent place.
because I think he's from that area in Canada. I think he's
Seattle's in the United States.
no. I'm saying driving wise, he's closer because he's playing in Seattle. I think he's from like around that
Yeah,
part of Canada.
Moss knows. Yeah, Moss knows where he's from. Yeah, he's from the West. Moss said. Um, no state tax in Washington State. So Seattle, as long as they are competitive, they're going to attract players.
And do you think that's what's going to hurt these teams in like the young players that are in LA and LA?
Well, I think in LA they have to win because if they don't win, guys are going to leave. As crazy as it may sound,
Yeah, the
because
state taxes are ridiculous in New York. That's why I'm saying.
California, in Chicago too.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I think, God, eventually, that's why Chicago. I think financially, I think that's why Chicago had to trade Kirby Doc because they couldn't afford to keep him and then bring in a Connor Bedard.
Yeah, that was a good trade for Montreal.
And I think isn't Kirby Doc from Canada?
Yeah, that was a good trade for Canadian. Canadians are looking, folks. Canadians, you can argue, won the draft in
Who are
Montreal
your
for.
top? Who are in terms of the draft, Uncle? Like who are your A grades in the draft?
I'm gonna go with everybody. I'm gonna go San Jose, Montreal, Calgary,
Chicago.
and no, Chicago. Chicago, like I said, their fan base ain't happy with what they did.
Which I hate.
Let me
Like
take a look. I'll tell you right now. I know
I give them an
definitely.
A+ because they filled weakness. Like they honestly, I think they had one of the best drafts. They got someone to pair up with Connor Bedard. Wait, did they draft a defenseman or a forward with their first pick?
It, they drafted the first pick of defenseman.
Oh, Artem something Lefshinov or whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah, yeah,
That kid, you know who he reminds me of?
exactly.
He reminds me like that kid reminds me of Dmitry Kulikov with more offense. He's a Dmitry Kulikov. He's a steady defensive defenseman, but he can offer more offensive upside.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, I tell you, when you leave Philadelphia, you really fall off the face of the earth. You really do.
If they had
No
been
one.
traded sooner, Uncle, if they haven't been trained sooner, if they haven't had if a guy like uh not Kuznetsov, the guy who plays with the guy that I say gets overshadowed by Crosby in Pittsburgh.
Malkin.
If he had gone trained sooner, like maybe to a, do you think if the Panthers have traded for a Malkin earlier and stuff like that, they wouldn't have been able to get a Kachuk?
Yeah, this is funny. I did not see this yesterday. Well, I guess a year ago when the Panthers lost, because this guy, he's my favorite golfer. That would be Brooks Koepka. Made fun of Aaron Ekblad for losing the cup last year. So this year, yesterday, when Ekblad opened his speech, he said "F you" to Brooks Koepka.
Oh my! He got pissed at Brooks. Brooks sometimes needs to keep his mouth shut.
Little tongue of fun here. Stanley Cup champs can have all the fun they want. They deserve it, folks.
Do you think if Ottawa doesn't do anything like If Ottawa, you said,
They
do you
already
think?
did what they did. They got the goalie. They got the goalie already. They did that draft. They did that last Monday night while the Panther game was about to end, and Gary Bettman said, "Don't say nothing."
Okay, no, that's why I'm asking. Do you think Brady would have demanded a trade if they didn't do anything?
He said that next year is going to tell. If he doesn't see improvement, then he will ask to leave.
Where do you think he goes if he leaves?
Well, to get
Do you
Brady
think
to
his brother?
show, number
Do you think
one,
he?
you have to
do you,
you have
do
to
you-
you have to have young prospects like a team like Utah. Makes sense. They got a lot of
or
young guys.
Detroit, or someone like that?
Mm, I don't know if he want to play in Detroit. Well, a team
Teams
like Utah would break the bank to get a Brady show and give him an extension.
would he fit good in Vegas?
Vegas is broken up. They lost six,
Oh,
7 guys today.
okay. Can you imagine? Like, how pissed off would the league be if Florida is able to pull off something crazy like that by screwing both Canadian teams in Ottawa and Montreal for both Brady and Matthew?
The problem is Florida don't got the young prospects that Ottawa wants. Ottawa likes young players, and a team like I said, a team like Utah has all of that,
Or Chicago?
and Utah can pay them.
Can
Chicago's
Chicago,
not as good as Utah.
in terms of
They're not as good as
draft,
Utah.
in terms of draft prospects?
With the young talent, I'll take Utah,
Maybe
and they got
they,
draft picks too to give back to Ottawa.
well, would Brady's personality work in LA
Yes,
or in New
it
York?
would. Yes,
Wait a minute. I thought you said he left after his brother and dad started partying too much.
he did. He said that he don't want to see this.
He's
Can you blame him?
I'm surprised.
No, he's happy for him.
No, I'm surprised.
Happy for
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised. Matt, I'm surprised Keith didn't leave because he didn't win a cup.
You kidding me? Keith is so proud of his boys. He don't care. Because of Keith, they're in the league.
And you say, wait, who was
And hockey doesn't care. Hockey doesn't care about rings. They care about numbers. And he'll get into the Hall of Fame. He has over 500 goals.
wait, who did you say who was who was Keith partying all the time with up in Boston?
Ronick and Bill Guerin. Yeah, Ronick's getting in this year. He finally made it.
Are you finally happy for JR for getting in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm happy for Datsuk.
Datsuk, honestly,
Datsuk is way overdue. Way overdue.
Do you think Zetterberg is going to get in the Hall of Fame?
He's already. He's one that's not in yet. He should have been in.
I think that whole Detroit team with Zetterberg, is Osgood going to be in the Hall of Fame?
I hope so.
Does he have enough wins as a goalie to justify a Hall of Fame?
Yeah, he's won 3 cups.
No, you say they don't do it. Hockey does it by
No,
stats.
for goalies, cups do matter. Why do you think Barrasso got in last year?
Brasso really doesn't deserve it.
Fucking Barrasso. God damn.
You think Bob's gonna get in the Hall of Fame?
What's gonna hurt him, Manzano, was the 3 games he got ambushed. He should have, but I don't know. It's gonna be tough for him now.
Yeah. No,
That's
no.
why, if you notice, no one's talk. I told you this earlier this afternoon. No one's talking about Barkov anymore. I mean, not Barkov, Borowski.
Bob.
Yeah, no one's
Yeah.
talking about him anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. No. See. This is where what I hate about the hockey media. They hold it against him. They hold it against him for those 3 losses, and they cover. That pisses me off right there. They don't. They're not attacked. They basically glossed over the fact that basic uh Con- McJesus didn't perform well in the playoffs, like in the Stanley Cup.
Are you kidding me, Manzano? McDavid in games 3, 4, and 5 was dominant.
No, but they forget the fact he was gone. He did for 3 games he showed up, but for 4 games he was completely gone. Like he was shut down.
But he's McDavid. He got the Conn Smythe
As
to
a
go
as
out.
a as a as a as a hockey fan, are you old school like like most guys are, where the Conn Smythe should be going to a player on the
With the
winning
winning
team?
team, yeah. It deserves to be on the winner. They would have gave it to Barkov instead of Borowski was horrible, man. Games late in the third quarter, game 3, 4, 5, and 6. I
Yeah,
mean, Borowski now got a lot to prove all over again.
yeah. No, and for me, I as a hockey fan, I understand why they do that, but when you look at his whole body of work, look how he performed. Like I think he had the best record as a goalie in the playoffs, right?
This year,
Yeah, Bobrovsky. I think
let
he
me
was like
see,
I think he
12
was
and
like
6, 12
I,
and 6, 16 and 7. I mean, 16 and 9. Oof. I don't know, Tony. 16 and 9 is not the greatest.
no, because he swept the
Yeah, he
uh
swept Tampa. That's right. So he was 16 and 7.
yeah.
That's not bad.
Is that still bad in your opinion?
It's okay. I mean, he blew it on himself, bro. There's no excuses for him. And
No,
I'm glad, and I'm glad that the Florida media and the national media has ignored him.
but
That
so
is
you
punishment.
think Barkov should have won the Conn Smythe in your
Yeah,
honest?
yeah, Barkov. Yeah, Barkov was awesome.
Yeah,
Barkov.
no, and Darren Rupp always says this. He's a mixture of Patrice Bergeron and Matt Sundin.
Yeah,
Barkov.
Barkov is good. No one's knocking him. He's a champion now. No one's
Yeah,
gonna ever knock him. Now, if
yeah.
he wins one more, then the Panther franchise, it takes 3 cups to be a franchise that will be cemented in NHL lore. If you get 2 more, then the Panthers will be always respected around hockey circles. Always.
Uh,
They get 1 more, they'll get the respect even more.
this is an honest question. Edmonton run like I can't remember. Montreal, did they three-peat twice or once?
They four-peat like 4 times.
Montreal?
Yeah,
Did Edmonton three-peat with
never.
Gretzky,
No,
or they two-peated?
they two-peated twice, and then the year after losing to Gretzky, they came back to destroy that Gretzky. And like I told you, when the Oilers play the Kings haven't beaten them since that one time with Gretzky.
Oh, Wait, I thought with Drew Doughty they dominated the Oilers.
That was mediocre Oilers. Oilers beat them 2 years ago in 7. Oilers swept them this year.
Those Kings teams with if those Kings teams were in this league, do you think they would, like, in this era of hockey, the early Kings with like when they were winning their championships, do you think they could dominate the Oilers?
Right now, the Kings that won 2 Stanley Cups a decade ago.
Yes.
Yes,
And do you think that team would have? Do you think it could
them
have?
and Florida would have been interesting. Cause remember, that was Kopitar. That was a young Drew Doughty, and that was Kopitar in his
A
prime.
prime? Yeah, that was a prime Kopitar. Imagine, then can you understand if Florida, like if Florida and and uh and the Kings were in the finals? Can you understand if if Bobrovsky lost 3 games against those Kings teams?
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but that was a young Jonathan Quick. I would definitely take him over Bobrovsky. That was a young Jonathan Quick.
Do you think the teams would have been even, or the Kings would have dominated the Panthers?
Uh, I think it'd been interesting because the Kings up the middle was real good.
They
Kopitar, Jeff Carter, they
a
were
young
pretty. They
Jeff
were
Carter.
very good.
Wait, Jeff Carter was Jeff Carter, was that the Jeff Carter after he won it with
The
the
only one with LA.
I thought he wait was
No, he
I
won with the Penguins too. He won with the Penguins. The Penguins with when they beat Nashville, he was on that team.
okay yeah, down the middle. I think, yeah, Jeff Carter would have matched up well with Kachuk. Was Jeff Carter the agitator on that team? Like
No,
Kachuk,
he was a scorer. No,
who's who's the agitator on the on the offensive side for those teams?
Dave Brown, Tyler Razor, Mitch Marner to Seattle. Let me check this out.
Wait, Tyler. He has to be traded. He's not a free agent. Mitch Marner,
Yeah,
it's the unless they did a sign unless Toronto did a sign and trade, and that's how you
Tony,
got that.
Tony, trust me, that's a troll.
You think so?
Yeah.
Do you see a lot of you know how you see sign and trades in basketball? Do you ever see that in hockey? Is it rare?
It happens.
Because I know the Kachuk trade was a sign and trade because he had a deal done with Florida before he got there, right?
Oh, signing trades. Those trades happen a lot.
For hockey,
Signing trades happen a lot. Yeah,
are
happens a
hockey
lot.
and are hockey and basketball the only sport that you see that in, or baseball does it too?
Baseball don't do it. Football does it.
Was there a Bo Jackson trade in hockey that you
Of
were
course,
or oh
Wayne
no,
Gretzky
my
was
mistake.
free.
Oh, no, not Bo Jackson. The Ricky Williams, where a team traded a whole, whole bunch of draft picks for a player
Nah, that never
in the
happened in
draft.
hockey. That never happened in hockey.
Hockey doesn't have that, like those type of
No,
loss. Maybe
no.
Gretzky was the closest, probably.
Gretzky. Yeah. Yeah, but the players the Oilers got back in return were good.
And did that help the Oilers win a championship?
Yeah,
Who
the
did
the year
who did
after.
for that Gretzky trade? Who did they get back?
Oilers,
Yeah,
Jimmy Carlson, uh, Martin Jelena, and I forgot the third player.
I never heard of that
But
name, Marty Jelena, before. Can you explain?
Martin Jelena, he
Yeah,
was a
I
good
haven't.
player. He was clutch. He was clutch.
He's a
He was
forward,
nice.
right?
Yeah,
Is he a sniper, or would you say he's a two-way guy like a Barkov?
yeah. You could say that. Not like Barkov, no. He was a grinder. He was a good player too.
When was has Vancouver ever won a championship?
Nope.
I know the teams I know in Canada that won a championship: Edmonton, of course, Montreal, of course,
Yep.
Toronto.
Yep.
Uh,
It's been 67, 57 years, but they did win one.
uh, did Quebec ever win a championship
If
before
you
they
count
moved?
Colorado, but no.
Okay. We said Vancouver didn't win one.
The teams who have won: Islanders, Rangers, Devils, Flyers,
The Canadian
Penguins.
teams.
The Canadian teams only Montreal, Edmonton, Calgary, and
Toronto.
Toronto's won. Winnipeg, Ottawa. Well, if you want to count Ottawa in 1920, 1918, they did win a Stanley Cup.
But that was way before our time, so we don't even remember.
They take that seriously in Canada, though. But like
Titletown,
we said,
Titletown.
none of us sing it, though.
To me,
But
Titletown is still
sometimes, who's still pissed?
no. Titletown to me is to the team. I would say maybe New York because of the fact that the Yankees have the most championships. Then it's
In this century, Boston is clearly the city of champions. They was sticking it to South Florida fans when they had their parade for the Celtics, and they had people coming out with signs. This is my 13th championship parade this century.
yeah. Yeah, of course you have the right. You can brag because you guys have been around longer than most of the franchises, except for the Dolphins. Your team has been around longer than the Panthers, longer than the Heat. So
Damn, 13 championships this century. Wow.
yeah, three with the Red Sox, right?
Four Red Sox, six Patriots, that's 10, two Celtics, that's 12, and one with the Bruins.
And I was gonna say, uh, I was gonna count the if you count the MLS championship to the Revolution.
I don't think the Revolution won this century.
They won two in the early 2000s.
Did they?
Yeah,
I'm
those,
surprised Boston didn't count them. I'm surprised.
but they don't consider soccer a major sport in North America. So that's probably why. But overall, would you Titletown would be in North American sports would be the Yankees, St. Louis with the
Well, they consider Well, in this country, Green Bay is Titletown, USA.
They have the most championships.
In football, yeah, they do.
No, in overall North, like in United States sports.
Which city is the city of champions?
Yeah.
Like Titletown?
Yes.
Green Bay.
They have more championships than the Yankees and St.
No,
Louis.
but nobody, again, Tony, things are not look like that no more. No one cares about baseball. NFL is king. That's
Do you
just the
think
way it is
basketball
in the United States.
slowly becoming? You think basketball
Basketball.
slow?
Basketball is
Basketball?
good.
No, that it's gonna become like like uh like baseball and hockey in the U.S.
Yeah, hockey though is on a surge in the United States. Highest rated Stanley Cup playoffs ever this year for the
And it's
well, Tony,
hilarious how the traditional hockey market fans laughed at Bettman for putting teams in Florida.
and Gary Bettman was very happy to see the Panthers win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He looks like he's gonna look at traditional hockey markets like Boston, New York, Minnesota, Detroit, and say, "You laughed at me for putting teams in Tampa and Florida. Look, Tampa and uh and South Florida. They brought you. They brought me four championships, right? It would be four, right?
Who? Who?
Would it be four or three? And no, in total, would it be five or four
For who?
for Bettman for the Florida teams?
That'll be four.
Yeah, three with Tampa, one in the
And
early
one,
2000s, and
and
two
one
in
with
the
the
new.
and one with the Panthers. Tony, for the record, the New England Revolution never won a championship.
Oh, I thought they did. Sorry.
No, it's all right. They lost two in the early 2000s. Damn, they lost three in a row.
How good were the Cosmo teams, Uncle?
They were great.
Did they win championships or
They won one.
would you say that was one of the more underachieving teams in North American history?
Of course.
How can you win one and who was on that team again? Damn it.
Pele, Franz Beckenbauer, Senio, all those guys were there. All right,
any
Joe Quinville and Sam Bowman are allowed next Wednesday to be tried to be reinstated back in the N.H.L.
I thought wasn't Dale Talon on that in those Chicago in Chicago when that happened too?
No, they fired him.
No, I'm
He
saying
went to Florida.
no.
Very nice of the Chicago fans. When he came back to Chicago, they gave him a 7 minute standing ovation. That's the beauty of Chicago sports fan.
Who's the who's the dynasty of in terms of family in sports when it comes to championships?
Family?
Like front office, like where they have multiple family members that have multiple championships in multiple sports.
That's easy. Steinbrenners.
How about the Greer family? Bobby and his father.
Three Super Bowls, three Stanley Cups. for Mike and his father, Bobby Greer. 6 is not bad, but again, the Steinbrenners, man. You're talking 10 with the Steinbrenners.
No, but they don't have championships in other sports, is what I'm saying.
Oh, you mean over sports? Oh, I probably Greer. I don't know, but people don't pay that no attention.
Wait,
But you are right.
was Mike Greer with? Did he build the team? Was he with Parcells with the Patriots, or was
Bobby Greer, yeah, he was the one who built the 3 Super Bowl teams in New England. He built that. That was Parcells' players. From Bobby Greer drafted those players.
no? That's why I'm wondering is see that this is what I hate. There's revisionist history with Patriots fans. They get they forget that Parcells and Greer built those teams, but they act like it was it was uh
All
it was
Belichick.
yeah Belichick that built those
All Belichick.
teams, which
No,
is not
that
true.
was, which is not true. Belichick has proven he's a failure as a general manager.
Yep, but no, they don't want to hear it. Patriots fans
No,
don't want to
now
hear
it's
that.
changed. Now it's changed now that he proved he couldn't win without Brady.
Yep.
That's why he didn't get hired.
Who's your favorite? Like
Nashville
who?
Predators. Now, good.
Who is your favorite? Like, was there a player that you liked watching for those Detroit teams in the 2000 and late 90s?
The Red Wings?
Yeah, those Red Wings, the Red Army teams.
Yeah, I love watching on those teams. I love watching Darren McCarty, um,
Ivan,
Federal,
not Fedorov, the
Shanahan.
defenseman, the Russian
Oh,
defenseman, the
Konstantinov?
one that got, uh,
Konstantinov. The one
yeah,
who got hurt. They
Constantine.
got. Um, he was good. He was a enforcer out there. He was young too.
Who was it? Who was the guy that just got inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Pavel Datsuk.
Was he on those teams, the Red Army teams, or did he come after?
He came. He won in 2002 and 2008.
Oh, But was he on the? Was he a young player on those Red Army teams?
No, he
Was
came afterwards. He came afterwards.
am I thinking it's Zetterberg that was on those teams?
Zetterberg was on those teams. Yeah, Henrik Zetterberg.
I'm surprised Zetterberg isn't not in the Hall of Fame yet.
I have no idea.
Can you explain how the hell he's not in the Hall of Fame?
The Hall of Fame is weird, bro. It took Kevin Lowe 30 years to get in.
Can you wait? You just brought up Kevin Lowe. Can you tell me? I've heard about him from multiple old school hockey
Kevin
fans, but
Lowe was on those great Oiler teams. He won the 5 cups with Messier. He was a stay-at-home defenseman, and he was one of the guys that he got dirty in there. He was a great, great player.
so he was Kevin Lowe would be like a Dmitry Kulikov or something like that.
Yeah, he was a great player. He was. Kevin Lowe is so underrated.
Does his offense get underrated a little bit?
His offense was explosive like none other you ever see.
No, that's what I'm saying because we talk about him as a shutdown defenseman, but that's what I'm saying. Does his offense get? You say it's explosive, but does it
No,
get
no, no, no.
over?
Kevin Lowe wasn't an offensive guy. No, Kevin Lowe wasn't an offensive guy. All right,
Okay.
Datsuk missed the Red Army. Datsuk came after the Red Army team.
Okay. So Zetterberg bridged the gap between those Red Army teams and the Datsuk teams.
Yeah, and Tony, those teams were still dominant. They just lost to better teams. I mean, Detroit, Dallas, Colorado, they were clearly the three best teams in the West. Clearly.
Was the East always a weak conference?
Yes.
Why
Yeah.
is that?
I have no idea. I
Because
really don't have no idea.
I thought Toronto was good
You
back
know?
then too. The Toronto teams were good back then.
Yeah, but they never do nothing. But they never get nothing done, Tony. You
Okay.
as a Dolphin fan, that's the equivalent of being a Toronto Maple Leaf fan in hockey. Same thing. You get all pumped up and they let you down. That's Maple Leaf fan.
The same thing. Would you say Vancouver was like that too? Vancouver's
Well,
like that too.
Vancouver never wins.
No, that's what I'm
So
saying.
then, no, at least the Maple Leafs have won 13 cups. They just haven't won one in 57 years.
Don't let Toronto fans hear you say that.
I'm just telling the truth.
Where do you think Marner ends up landing?
I have no clue.
Hey, are you doing a later show, Uncle?
Nah, nah. I'm getting ready to get out of here anyway at 5 o'clock.
Oh, when are you coming back on?
Probably Wednesday. And then
Tariq.
Saturday we got a big NBA show. We're gonna do all the free agency, all the trades. Cause it opens up on Saturday.
Is this like are you gonna do an emergency stream in case there's big time trades in the NHL?
Yeah, I'll come on. Yeah, right away. That and the NBA. I'll come on.
Okay. See you
All
on
right.
Wednesday then.
Be good, man. I'll see you Wednesday. Have a good week, family.
You too.
Tony
You too.
Manzano, everybody. All right, folks. 15 minutes left. I'll give you the winners and losers so far as they got written down. So, so it's been a good weekend in hockey. Nothing, no movement. So let me just say that I'm about to get out of here. I want to thank all the guys who came in today, people in the clouds, people on X, Twitch, LinkedIn. IG. I will see you anytime big news happens in the NHL, NBA, big trade happens. Okay, so thank you for coming for the early show and the late afternoon show. I'll see you on Wednesday if nothing big happens, but if something big happens, I'll be right on the air. So you guys have a great week, and I appreciate all you being here. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate you.